Weekend at Bernie's, great movie, right? Why not live it? So this lady lived a really fun, full life, and her family wanted to honor her as such. So a 53-year-old woman in New Orleans was memorialized with a last party. It was her funeral, but they didn't want to see it that way. They dressed her up, they propped her up. I hope we have pictures with a nice scarf and some sunglasses, put a menthol in her hand, a beer, and a disco ball. Her name is Miriam Marie, aka May Burbank, who passed away on June 1st, and Burbank's two daughters said that she was full of life and they really wanted her funeral to reflect that life. So they propped her up and sat her there behind the red velvet rope for everyone to see. At the funeral, Burbank was sitting at the table, as you see, and people seemed okay with this. Nobody was too freaked out.
That's not a mannequin. That's her.
And I'm not surprised that it happened in New Orleans, because isn't that where people have like celebration of life, you know, bands, like marching band, it's a party. So why don't you take it one step further and invite her to the party?
When I first heard the story and I hadn't seen the pictures, I thought they were Irish. Because you know the Irish do big celebrations at funerals,
well,
right?
it's a wake, not awake.
So it turns out, of course, it's not. They're just in New Orleans where people do wacky stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, now I love the idea of parties at funerals as a celebration of life. I'm not sure that I want the dead person at that party.
I know.
Right? Like, I don't put him in the casket and stuff, and then let's go celebrate his or her life. Right, but she's in the room. That's a little creepy. It's so New Orleans to do this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the other thing is, I understand, like, you know, it can be very somber, and it's, you know, it's so you can say goodbye, and it's, you know, closure. But isn't there just a little bit of a hint, like, unless she expressly asked to be at the funeral, that you're kind of poking fun at the whole? I mean, I don't know. It's Louisiana.
I'm sure they didn't mean it that way. I'm sure they didn't mean it that way. But
it would be hard. It would be hard not to be like, man, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
I don't know.
It's hard for people not to perceive it that way when they're not in that situation. Now, look, to your point, she was only 53.
Yeah.
She wasn't 83, right? And she might have, I don't know what she died of, but it's like if she partied hard and they got the cigarettes and the alcohol there and stuff, and she passed away at the age of 53, I'm not sure that's the part I would have celebrated.
Right, that's a good point. And you know what, and maybe I'm being extra, I don't want to say judgmental, because I'm not, I am judging it. It's a little shocking. But because in Jewish funerals, I've actually never been to a funeral with an open casket, because that's just not part of the tradition. So that would even be shocking to me, and that's not shocking to most people. But then they double down and say, no, she's coming to the party.
Yeah. No, I actually like the open casket tradition. Muslims, unsurprisingly, now you don't get mad at me, okay? I don't like it, okay? The funeral tradition for Muslims is you wash the dead. The family of the dead wash the dead.
It's very much like Judaism.
Okay. I think that's terrible. The person's naked, okay? That should be, I can't, no, it's not for me, okay? It's so not for me. I don't think that makes sense. The idea of washing your dead loved ones, oh man. Yeah. So, like, I've always admired the Christians for two things. Their benches at the church, great invention, because Muslims are like always on their knees. And like, God, it hurts your legs, and it's like such a pain to go to mosque, which I don't have to deal with anymore.
Jews have stadium seating, nice cushy chairs.
Beautiful, beautiful, even better, okay? And they're open casket funerals. You're like, oh, that's how the person used to look like. That's how I remember him or her, right? And to me, it's a nice way. This takes it a little too far.
Yeah.
Right.
And just too many logistics go into it. Like, I mean, the woman has, you know, already been through a lot. I don't want her falling over. I don't want any, you know, the rigging messed up. Just let the woman rest. For me, God bless.
So, like, yeah, for them, they're dead anyway. I'm not sure. Anyway. So I'm picturing now my funeral.
Yeah, what would you like to do?
They have me at a table like this. There's a TYT. I got a mic on or a mic in front of me, and I'm yelling, of course! That actually kind of could be fun.